Welcome to Madrid Fans Only TV. Don't forget to hit that subscription and notification button for all updates. Arda Guler and Real Madrid. A great moment for Turkish football, but no Barcelona embarrassment on first flash. At the surface level, Guler choosing Real Madrid over Barcelona is a blow for Laporta. A personal blow at that. After all, Barcelona's president spoke openly, bullishly, about signing the Fenerbahce super kid only hours before Real Madrid stepped in. Indeed, it's not only Laporta, you could say, who was left with egg on his face. Deco, his newly appointed sporting director, had visited the family home, had shaken hands with young Arda, and secured a commitment from him, only for it all to be turned on its head a day later. Deco was in Istanbul, Laporta stated, with Guler still in play. Our scouting department was following him. We also have Deco's opinion. We are trying to complete the deal. Laporta going public didn't do Deco any favors, particularly given the limitations the former Barcelona star was being forced to work with, but more on that later. Of course, the blow has been masked somewhat by Barcelona's £65 million swap for Atletico Paranaense's super kid Vitalugi, though alongside last week's announcement came the qualifier that fans won't see the teen for another year. In the meantime, Guler has been vowing on social media the Turkey's form in his first days on the Valdebabe's training pitches is demonstrating. News departures covering Real Madrid. They reckon they have one here. Juni Calafat, Real's chief scout, has done it again. So they say the kid will be a first teamer this season. You just wait and see. And to be fair, those Madrid star journalists are probably right. Guler has everything to be a first teamer for Real Madrid, not only for the future but today. There's no reason to be cynical about this. No need to be a dampener. Guler is the real deal, and his move to Real Madrid is a wonderful watershed moment for Turkish football. Hamiti Altop, Nuri Şahin, Mesut Ozil. Can we count him? Guler isn't the first Turkey to land at the Bernabeu, but he is the first to do so, having come through the home nation's development system. As we say, it is a wonderful moment for those working inside the local game. The coaching staff at Fener and Geneklik Beach Gill should be floating today. Indeed, you only need witness the tears of Guler's former Fener teammates as they watched his presentation live from the club's canteen to realize how special an achievement this is. There will be regret inside Barcelona, though. More frustration, yes. It doesn't appear Laporta was outflanked and outwitted by his Real Madrid by his Rio counterpart, Florentina Perez. But that would be unfair. Effectively, Laporte and Deco were working with a stacked deck. They had their advantages in this race, sure, not least Alikoki, Fener's president and former boss of Deco, Barcelona's old shirt sponsor. Indeed, those close to Fener have claimed Koki was visibly fuming when announcing Guler would be going to Rio and not Barcelona last week. But Koki, like Laporte and Deco, had little choice but to accept Rio's offer, as Deco was visiting the Guler family home. Barcelona had agreed with Fener to pay the players 17.5 million buyout clause. Deco had secured the commitment of the player, and everything from Barcelona's perspective appeared on track. Problem was, there were complications in the agreement. Barcelona's financial issues stemming from the work of the previous board had made negotiating with Koki a delayed payment of Guler's fee until 2024. The compromise being Guler would sign for Barcelona and spend the new season on loan with Fener. The player, however, was reluctant to accept. Guler wanted to leave for the next phase of his career immediately. Even calls from heroes Ozil and Alex de Souza could not convince the team, whose insistence became even firmer when Galafat came knocking. In the end, Real Madrid simply blew Barcelona out the water, £20 million to Fener, with a further 18 million due in bonuses. With further 8 million due in bonuses, a 10 million commission to Guler's family, and a place on a Carlo Ancelotti's senior Real squad, still paying for the errors of the past. There was nothing Laporte nor Deco could do. Powerless to make a counter offer, Barca quickly stepped aside despite the arguing of Gecko. We agreed with both Arda, Guler and Fenerbahce, and we are ready to give 17.5 million, said the reporter this week. Then Real Madrid stepped in and bought the player for a lot more money. We didn't get into a transfer war because we thought there were a lot of players we could buy with this money without going into this race. Perhaps. But the sticking point was the spending cap imposed by La Liga. You fancy that another Barcelona in another era would not have capitulated so easily. But as we say, Laporte was powerless. It really did come down to the club's past mismanagement. So Real Madrid are celebrating, gloating, even another one who chooses the greatest, as Vinicius Jr. taunted Gules upon Guler's announcement. The lad has a big chance of making it with Los Maleguis. But this was no humiliation for Barcelona, no embarrassment for Laporte. Today's board are still working through the mess they inherited. Guler, in current circumstances, was simply a step too far.